We've now learned the names of the two West Virginia National Guard members who were shot at point-blank range just blocks from the White House.
Breaking overnight, the ambush-style shooting of National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. has taken another tragic turn.
The Justice Department is upgrading charges for the suspect accused in the ambush-style shooting of two National Guardsmen near the White House.
Ready?
Victor, are you ready?
Okay, we're all set.
Are we ready? Chris, we ready? Yep, we're good. Go ahead.
One of those Guard members has died, the other still fighting for his life.
Another member of the Conservative Heritage Foundation has resigned following a video posted by the organization's president defending Tucker Carlson's interview with Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes.
20-year-old Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom died from her injuries on Thanksgiving.
I assume we're on and everybody sees us. I see you, a lot of great-looking faces. If you're not, just you can leave and go have turkey.
Beckstrom's former boyfriend spoke to CNN and said she had a huge heart and would do anything for anyone.
It's impossible to go along with something that one's friends and colleagues and comrades are proposing or promoting or going along with.
I want to express the anguish and the horror of our entire nation at the terrorist attack yesterday in our nation's capital, in which a savage monster gunned down two service members in the West Virginia National Guard who were deployed as part of the D.C. task force, which has done such an incredible job. I mean, until yesterday.
We have access here that we have not had before to the actual spot where the shooting occurred.
The suspect in custody, a 29-year-old Afghan national, he arrived in the United States in 2021 on a resettlement program after working with the CIA in Afghanistan.
We've also learned that those two guardsmen were given the option to end their deployment early. They could have gone home as of early last week. Instead, they, along with more than 150 of their comrades, volunteered to extend their service here in the nation's capital.
President Trump, in the wake of the shooting, says the U.S. will, quote, permanently pause migration from all third world countries.
This is the bus shelter where, according to officials, at least one of the guardsmen tried to take cover at, and you can see that a plexiglass panel here has been shot out. You can see the fragmented glass up there.
He also says the U.S. will re-examine all green cards issued to people from what the administration calls 19 countries.
He immigrated to the United States in 2021 in a Biden-era program that provided evacuations for Afghan refugees.
Remind viewers briefly who might not be as familiar who Nick Fuentes is and why this was so problematic.
McConwall was later granted asylum in April of 2025 under the Trump administration.
Nick Fuentes is a white supremacist who is a sympathizer with figures like Hitler and Stalin. I probably needn't say anymore.
You see a makeshift memorial here to the victims, people laying flowers and an American flag.
This suspect is an Afghan national who came to the United States in 2021. He applied for asylum in 2024 and it was granted under the Trump administration in April of this year.
She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. This just happened. She was savagely attacked. She's dead.
Officials searching McConwall's home in Washington state saying yesterday that he drove across the country to carry out what they say is a targeted attack. This is now being investigated as a possible act of terrorism.
We've seen in history what that leads to sometimes.
A lone gunman opened fire without provocation, ambush style, armed with a .357 Smith & Wesson revolver.
The question now of his pathway to violence is going to be a major target for investigators.
A public interview, a rather softball, puffball interview with Mr. Fuentes. I thought that was a terrible mistake.
Officials pointed to a June proclamation naming countries across Africa, the Middle East, the Caribbean, and parts of Asia.
He went cuckoo. I mean, he went nuts. And that happens too. It happens too often with these people. DHS has confirmed that the suspect is an Afghan national flown here by the previous administration. I have a picture of a plane. This is what it looked like when they came in. It was total bedlam. Do you remember that? But they go cuckoo. Something happens to them.
Within hours of this shooting, the president moved to justify an even more intense immigration crackdown.
Beckstrom has been on the Guard since 2023, according to officials. Andrew Wolf has been on the Guard since 2019.
The toughest, meanest, most capable physically got on the plane, not the people that we were looking for.
According to officials at the news conference, were sworn in yesterday. We believe that meant that they were sworn in not as new Guard members, but sworn in as deputies for the U.S. Marshals, which they have to do about every month.
Everybody was in a tough situation. Everybody had to decide for himself or herself what the right thing to do was.
He wrote, quote, "I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States."
People who are sympathetic to Mr. Fuentes, and many of them are online on X, formerly Twitter, or on other social media accounts, have been extremely and aggressively hostile toward me. They called me some names that I had to look up.
We're learning quite a lot about his background. It's a 29-year-old Afghan national who came to the United States in 2021.
Attorney General Pamela Bondi, meanwhile, says that the Justice Department will do everything in their power to seek the death penalty for this suspect.
Why he was allowed to come to the U.S. in part was because of his work with the U.S. military and CIA.
They come in illegally, have a lot of problems. Their countries force them in because their countries are smart. They don't want them. I rebuilt our military, all aspects of our military.
The ultimate approval and of his asylum application was granted under the Trump administration in 2025.
Important in the context of the president and allies saying that this was the policy of the previous administration to let folks in without vetting. Important to keep that in mind.
The Screaming Eagles calling in from Fort Huachuca, Arizona.
We don't normally have suspects who have such ties with the United States.
We have nobody coming in. They're not coming in under Biden.
Officials are going to pause any migration case related to Afghans pending further.
I'm not giving credit for anything, just like you guys are not giving credit for anything. We do the greatest job, but that's all right.
This is someone who was vetted at least by the CIA or the National Counterterrorism Center, was vetted when he came over. Either the vetting process was bad, missed something key, or the radicalization process was fast, that between the time he received amnesty a couple months ago and now.
You are handsome people. They're beautiful looking people. Thank you. Like Central Cat, I could put you in a movie right this second, the three of you, and I think would have a top grossing movie. So like they're all handsome, tough guys. I don't know what's going on here.
We call that leakage.
In the aftermath of the recent hurricane, which was devastating. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Major and everybody. Appreciate it.
There's always some type of signs. People just don't wake up, drive across the country with a gun and open fire on uniformed service members.
They kill hundreds of thousands of people a year, but we're going to take care of that situation. We're already doing a lot. We're the King of Saudi Arabia, and he said, you know, sir, last year, you had a country that was a dead country. We thought it was dead. You saw that with Iran, with those beautiful B-2 bombers. They totally obliterated the potential nuclear supply of Iran. And they did it in the dark of night with no moon, no light, no nothing. They were totally incredible, totally invisible. They were stealth. Nobody saw them. They knew they were coming, but they couldn't see them. They dropped those bombs, and they loved doing it. There wasn't a chipped piece of paint. And there were a lot of handsome people. It looked like Tom Cruise, actually. It was very good casting. But I like Tom Cruise, the last of our movie stars. You can ask me any damn question you want.
Illegal aliens entering our country is at a historic low.
You said the Gulf of America. And there's a thing that for actually 350 years, 100 years older than us, Mexico, it was called Gulf of Mexico. You know, David, I think you should dock him. That's a terrible question. That's a horror. He'll get me in so much trouble. I'll be at the game. And I'm going to let you know right after the game who's going to win. Despite the lies that they said about me. You know, they make up stories of lies. They're disgusting people. We'll be thinking about, I'll be thinking about that wise guy question you just asked me. Thank you very much.
The first ever 3 night strikes in the history of the Department of War.
These are great people. ICE gets not the credit they deserve. They are unbelievable tough.
The only proper response to the colonel from Fort Huachuca is go Navy, beat Army.
Okay, I got to remember that. And she said those people are in good shape. They're in very good shape. I don't know if she's referring to me when she says that. I'll tell you, in terms of obstacles, would be the weaponization of government. We're not allowed. You're not allowed to use the word Indian anymore. The only one that wants you to are the Indians, all right? I don't think you should ever change. That was my baby, Space Force. So I can't say I have any favorites because I don't want to do that. I have a real love for Space Force. Biden came in, he wanted to terminate Space Force. He thought it was funny. He thought it was so funny. The military didn't think it was funny. I think it's got unlimited growth potential and maybe at a faster level than others. Is that important for the Coast Guard? Because if it's not, I'll cancel the order immediately.
Very important.
Okay, good. Good, then I won't cancel the order. These are the top people in our country. These are just beautiful inside and out.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here, and you're just asking questions because you're a stupid person.
A year ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, they didn't respect us at all. They laughed at us. Nobody's laughing anymore.
There's a law passed that it's almost impossible. That was disgraceful. And if you look, you'll see there was a law passed. It makes it almost impossible.
Do you plan to attend Sarah's funeral?
I haven't thought about it yet, but it certainly is something I could conceive of. I love West Virginia. You know, I won West Virginia by one of the biggest margins of any president anywhere.
The suspect does have a wife and 5 children who live in Washington. Do you plan to deport them?
The suspect has?
The suspect?
Well, we're looking at that right now. We're looking at the whole situation with family. It's a tragic situation.
Do you blame all Afghans for this one man's not mistake?
No, but we've had a lot of problems with Afghans because they had a lot of them coming in on these planes. Again, I show you this picture. Many of them have been gotten out. I mean, we've gotten out some, but they came in. Yeah, I know, this deal story. Many are wonderful, yeah, I'm sure.
I said many are here.
If you look at Somalia, they're taking over Minnesota. We have a dope governor. If you talk about the Afghans, you know, there's a problem because so many bad ones came in on the planes. They just walked in. Whoever the strongest people were physically in a way, they just swamped the planes. They took off. We had no idea who they were.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain. We're not taking their people anymore.
But was he granted asylum under yours?
When it comes to asylum, when they're flown in, it's very hard to get them out. No matter how you want to do it, it's very hard to get them out. But we're going to be getting them all out now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Here, take that picture if you want to trust.
Mr. President, what are you most thankful for this Thanksgiving? Thank you, guys.
The fact that America's great again. We made America great again. America was a dead country. We made America great again. There you go.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.